campus of Eastern High School in Voorhess, New Jersey. Comcast Sports presents High School Soccer. This afternoon, it's the South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Girls Championship Finals as the Lenape Indians take on the Moorestown Quakers. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner, Marc Narducci. A beautiful afternoon. Weather certainly will not be an issue in this one. Lenape taking on Moorestown, two of the top teams in all of South Jersey perennially. This year, no different. Two of the top seeds in both this coaches tournament and in their respective playoff brackets in Group 3 and Group 4. Well, you know, Moorestown taking on a team that is undefeated, a team that many people say they can't beat, a team that maybe boasts the best player in not only South Jersey but throughout the area. There's no chance of them winning, and of course they do. I'm talking about yesterday, Moorestown defeating Rancocas Valley, a big upset in the South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association, but the storyline not much different today.
Well, it isn't. You're right. The Moorestown boys did a great job by beating our RV in the final. Lenape, as you mentioned, set it up 19-0 and a favorite in this. But it's not like Moorestown is going to be this young upstart team that has no chance. I mean, this is a very good team. The Quakers are playing their best soccer of the year. They came back and they beat a previously undefeated Gloucester Catholic team in the semifinals 4-3 in a game that really wasn't quite as close as the score indicated. And they avenged that earlier loss to Gloucester Catholic. So let's not paint Moorestown as this major underdog. Yes, Lenape's favored, but this is a good Moorestown team.
Of course, Lenape coming into this game undefeated, but first let's talk about these Moorestown Quakers. They are led by Jess Sarkeesian. This is a team that's very balanced, but she really is their go-to girl.
Well, she is. She's got 11 goals this year. She has 6 assists, and she's really picked it up offensively. As you noted, Rob, this is a very balanced team. In fact, she's the only double-figure scorer on this Moorestown team. So, yes, she's been hot lately, too. She's been playing with a lot of confidence, but they could get scoring from about 8 or 9 different people today.
On the other side of the ball, Lenape boasting perhaps the top player maybe even in the state, of Natalia Tarosian, a player who's probably headed to the University of Florida, a school very familiar to South Jersey soccer fans, as another fine player from Delran who went on to the Olympics, went on to play at the University of Florida, ultimately Rutgers. But in terms of Tarosian, a great distributor, a great finisher, certainly someone to keep an eye on.
Well, she is, and people look at her numbers and they say 9 goals. Well, how dangerous can she be? When you watch today, watch off the ball, watch how many people she attracts. She's a very unselfish player. She's a tremendous passer, and I agree with you, Rob. She's the most skilled player, no question about it, in South Jersey.
Well, of course, they're playing here at Eastern High School, a little bit of a different surface. It will be a test for both of these teams. They both boast great speed. We'll see if that certainly plays into it. The first goal may be the decider. Stick around. We'll have it for you in just a moment. Welcome back to Eastern High School, site of the South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Girls Championship Finals. Lenape, the home team, being the top seed in the tournament, in white with red, and Moorestown black and gold. Lenape with possession. And again, Mark, it'll be fun to see. These are two teams that are very skilled but also very fast.
Well, Rob, I think another important thing to note is when you see the scores of these two teams' games, you don't see a ton of blowouts, and that has to do with both coaches. They could stack it up and score 8 or 9 goals on some outman teams, but they get their players out of there, and their goal totals are legitimate goal totals, and they're these players are playing against top teams. I don't know if anyone's played a tougher schedule than Lenape has in South Jersey.
We'll have a throw in here for the Quakers.
Yeah, this is Alyssa Ogle, and she has a very good throw, Rob. So this is going to get inside to probably about the 6. This is a real weapon. Moorestown very dangerous on set pieces.
Headed up, and Wiley out of her own end trying to clear. Moorestown comes away with it. And a corner kick for the Quakers.
I think Moorestown, year in and year out with Bill Mulvihill, might be the most creative team off set pieces. They have people running around. They have people going off of others. I mean, there's just a lot of action here as we see this corner by Jess Kerwin. And by the way, she has 10 assists this year, and obviously a number have come on the corners.
Kerwin with the in-swinger. Far post, tipped up. Shot on, cleared. Moorestown looking to settle and go forward. Shot again, score! Moorestown strikes first. 2 minutes and 1 second in.
Clear that ball and just trying to put it back in on goal. I'm not sure she was even shooting it, but she did a good job of getting rid of it quickly, and obviously it went in and stunned Lenape.
Well, we mentioned that Moorestown stunned RV yesterday, and Bill Mulvihill and the Quakers would like nothing better than to make it a dynamic twofer. Again, Lenape in the box, sent out, and we'll have a throw-in for the Indians. Well, Bill Mulvihill said that scoring first would be huge for his team, as although they are not intimidated, they do realize what they're up against in a team in Lenape that is 19-0. These two teams have not played each other in some 7 or 8 years, according to head coach Bill Mulvihill.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Lenape had 6 straight shutouts, so the Indians have obviously not had to play from behind.
Well, it all starts with the in-swinger from Kerwin.
Yeah, and again, Lenape tried to clear it out. There you see the person that would score at number 8, Haley Dalmas. She gets the ball, and look, I'm not even sure I think she was just looking to try to keep it in, and the ball goes over the head of Zyman and in. I think everyone was stunned that that one went in. It looked to be about 35 yards out, Rob.
Well, Zyman looked like she was just a little bit too far off her line and just couldn't get back as the floater was perfectly placed.
Wow, Alyssa Ogle with a nice defensive play, 16 from Moorestown. Tarosian had a head of steam that time. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting. You don't want to let Tarosian get any kind of momentum in the offensive zone.
Well, Lenape, as we mentioned, with a mark of 19-0, rarely playing from behind. And this will be a true test. And this is one of the great things about this tournament, is that it pairs teams outside of the same group and really prepares them for the South Jersey playoffs.
There's no question about it. And both teams will not play in the playoffs till the end of the week, so they're going to be able to rest, because this is expected to be a physical contest.
That's deflected off of an Indian, so we'll have a throw-in for Moorestown's Alyssa Ogle. Ogle again with the throw-in, and that's in the box.
Now again, a lot of times she'll like to hit a target early on, and that person will head the ball back as well. Stop! So they won't always try to go for the big play off of one person, Rob. It's almost like a two-prong attack.
Again, it will be Ogle. See Tarosian, the player that we spoke about in the open.
See, someone will come up right near, I think right around the 18, and try to be that first target. Like that, right there. Didn't quite get it, and then Lenape was able to clear that time. Katie Duffy on the clear.
Nice job by Duffy, and now the Indians will look to transition. They find Tarosian 1-on-3. Tarosian tripped up, goes down hard, and Tarosian is shaken up. This could turn into a physical game. Both of these teams would love to have the hat trick. And what I mean by that is winning their respective divisions, the South Jersey Coaches Tournament, and of course the state championship, but only one team will have that opportunity.
Well, because Tarosian has such great ball skills, she gets fouled an awful lot.
Long shot, and this will sail wide.
Now, see, that's a play where that was Steph Toy on that play. Here you see Tarosian. Again, she's got such great explosion. Watch how closely she keeps the ball to her, and then she was just fouled. Obvious call on Dalmas that time, but watch how close she keeps that ball to her, Rob, and is able to go full steam. I mean, not a lot of players can do it that effectively the way she does.
Fine header by Chelsea Cannon keeps the pressure on for the Indians. Headed forward, nicely done by Bridget Bianco, but coming on and able to clear is Zeman.
I think a key player in this game is going to be Alex Davis, who's playing that back position, the sweeper for Moorestown. She's a senior, a very, very heady player. Missed last season due to a knee injury, and she's really given this defense a real needed jolt and some tremendous leadership back there.
It's been tough for the Davis family. Last year, missing due to the knee injury. This year, her sister Samantha Davis out with an injury. And again, she certainly will be a key part of the success of this Moorestown team, both today and come postseason. Terosian now looking to shield and will turn. Terosian with great speed and skill.
Well, that was a great shield as well as she got that ball that time. But as you see, Moorestown's not going to let, in fact, the theory is don't let Terosian beat them. Easier said than done, by the way.
Again, a long shot here, trying to get it over the keeper, but Jill Hampton had a little bit too much on it.
If you notice, though, 22 Terosian in the white is going to be marked by more than one person here today. There are going to be a couple people trailing her. She's that dangerous. You really have to focus your defense on her.
And Moorestown comes away with it out of the scrum.
We haven't mentioned Katie Rigby yet, but as a freshman, she's had an outstanding year for this Lenape team and has proven to be a quality finisher and plays well off the ball off Terosian. So Rigby's going to have a lot to say with Lenape's success today, too.
Carly Comedy called for the infraction. And she's going to be marking Jess Sarkeesian throughout the afternoon. She is typically the person that marks the top opponent. Jess Kerwin, who started things with the corner on the first Moorestown goal. Headed up. Cannon. And here comes Hampton, who yields. Throw in. And now they're going to call a whistle, again, I believe, against Terosian.
Alan Stoutman, the man in the middle today, the official, Paul Mayovich and Bob Davey on the lines.
This time it's going to be Alyssa Ogle. Another set piece here for the Quakers.
Now again, last time they went far post, but they didn't go close enough to the goal.
And that missed both the Moorestown and Indians. That was a very dangerous play, but Lenape escapes unscathed. Here comes Wiley.
You know, one thing Lenape has not done, and maybe it's that early goal, but Lenape has not played its game of possession at all. Sort of like kicking it right away, Rob. I think the Indians have to settle things down a little bit.
Well, they had said that Kevin Meter, the head coach, that these opening minutes were going to be critical in setting the tempo, and thus far it's been Moorestown who has set the tempo, I should say. To the middle. Cleared out.
See, again, Lenape's got to get that ball settled down. It's too much in the air. That's not Lenape's game. They are a skilled enough team to work it on the ground.
Here comes Terosian and the Indians. Terosian looks to cut it back in and create.
See, if you're Moorestown, you'd like to see Terosian have to come all the way back that far to get the ball.
Sent towards the middle. Here's Terosian. She yields to Wiley. Wiley trying to create some space, shielding now. And Wiley drops it. Headed out. Again, pushing forward, and McCool will come on to handle.
Well, again, Wiley can, as you get a look at things here, and there's Sarkeesian drawing with some physical play there. That's a pretty good. Look how she's shielding and all.
Carly Carmody, the junior back, to send it away. That ball just sailed a little bit on Carmody and the Indians. Again, it's a beautiful afternoon. Perfect day for soccer. Crisp and clear. Wind will not play into this one.
Wow, Katie Duffy, number 20 for Lenape, did a great job of following that play through. You saw her slide right in there. McCool getting the ball, though, that time. But that's a nice job of Duffy just following the play and not giving up on it.
Nicole Curry is down. It looks like she is in some degree of discomfort, holding her side, and now it looks as though she's going to stay on.
You know, this is a pretty young Lenape team. I mean, we talk about Tarosian, who's obviously a veteran. Duffy also a senior, Zeman as well. But, I mean, we talked about Rigby, who's a freshman, Curry, who's a sophomore, a number of key contributing juniors, including Hampton. So, I mean, this is a Lenape team that has a real nice mix.
Again, you mentioned, Mark, both of these teams will have byes in the first round in their South Jersey playoffs. Moorestown looking to win the Burlco. Still has a couple key games against Rancocas Valley. Cannon.
I'll tell you what, Bridget Bianco shields the ball about as well as anybody on this Moorestown team, number 22 for the Quakers.
Tarosian feeds the wing and finds Katie Rigby, who has really been an energizer for this Lenape team this year, just a freshman. From the middle, Wiley makes a nice play aggressively. Moorestown comes right back. To the wing, and that'll go out on Hampton.
See, I really think Wiley's going to be key, 23 for Lenape, because she's playing the stopper position, but she can really show some offensive skills and come up from the back. And she scored 6 goals this year, Rob. And I think she might have something to say if this Lenape attack starts really doing what it's capable of doing here today.
Well, many of those goals coming in the air, and she has great instincts. She knows how to read the play, come from the back, and how best to utilize her size.
Now, conversely, Moorestown understands that, and that's the best way you can get transition the other way when a stopper's coming up offensively.
Sarkeesian looking to feed it in. They'll go to the wing, trying to find Hampton, but taken right back by Moorestown's Katrina Martinelli. Tackled from behind, an aggressive tackle, play on.
You know, the crowd yelled at that, but that wasn't aggressive. That was just an aggressive play.
Throw in for Ogle.
Good no call. Tell you one thing, you will not find many teams that go after it and play a more physical style than Moorestown.
Tarosian, Shields looking to go. Stopped nicely by Ogle, but Tarosian keeps. And right back, Moorestown. And nice little play by Kaylee Menser.
Well, there's no question what Moorestown's doing. Ogle is staying on Tarosian, and then off the ball, they're having somebody watching her as well. I mean, it's going to be very, very hard for Tarosian to navigate her way through here because there are going to be a lot of black shirts around her.
And one of the great things about Tarosian is she is not one-dimensional. She realizes that she's going to draw a lot of attention, and she's a tremendous distributor. Not only is that critical in terms of play, but also in terms of team chemistry.
Well, she draws so many people, and as we said in the opening, it opens things up for everybody else.
Here's Hampton on the wing. Hampton very dangerous, 6 goals on the season, heading forward, and she's cut off at the pass by Ogle.
That's a great tackle by Ogle that time.
Here's Cannon. Cannon, nice little play. Looks, and off the volley, McCool. Nicely done by Cannon.
You know, in a play like that, McCool might want to get down a little bit more. She kicked it out of bounds purposely because one of her teammates is down injured.
Down on the field is Jenna Hildebrand, the senior. So Lenape will throw it in here.
I'll tell you, Rob, the benches are going to have a lot to say about today because I don't see how either of these teams can keep up this pace and not take some of the starters out. I mean, it's not only been a fast pace, it's been a very physical one.
Let's go, White! Terosian will throw it in, giving the ball right back to Moorestown.
Yeah, nice sportsmanship there. Moorestown had kicked it out due to injury, so.
Cannon, she's been a presence already here early. Cannon feeding the middle, trying to find Terosian. Unable to do so now, Moorestown. And it'll be Ogle to feed the wing.
Well, one thing Lenape might try to do a little bit, we haven't seen Lenape work the flanks at all. Everything has been coming up the middle. So they may want to kind of spread things out and see if they can get something off the flanks and try to just get rid of some of that congestion that we're seeing in the middle right now.
There you see Meter, the head coach, urging on his Indians. 72-10-3 in his 4 years as the head coach of Lenape. Some gaudy numbers at the helm of a program that has enjoyed a fine tradition over the years.
State championship last year.
Moorestown continuing to gain ground. We have just under 24 minutes remaining in this first half. Moorestown scoring with just 2:01 into play. A long shot from the freshman, Haley Dalmas, the difference.
I think one of the keys is Moorestown has really taken Lenape out of its game right now. I mean, when Lenape's on its game and playing that possession style, they are really, really smooth operating team. And right now, there's just been no flow to Lenape's game at this point, and you have to credit Moorestown for that.
That was a nice little play by Carmody. There you see Meter. We mentioned his career mark. Carmody playing it off of the Moorestown player deftly and allowing them to maintain possession. And now a foul called as a collision will give Moorestown possession.
Now again, Kerwin's close enough there, she can definitely hit that far post. Oh no, she's not going to take the kick though. It's like Kathleen Wolf is going to take it instead, but
you know, it's just a little thing, Mark, but again, they've had a number of girls taking these set pieces, and that really speaks to their depth. Far side, taken by Zeman.
Again, that was good strategy. I think if you're Wolf, you would have liked that ball a little bit further away so Zeman couldn't get it so well. Look at that.
Wow, what a trap by Terosian.
Unbelievable.
Here's Hampton. Hampton shielding. Maintains possession. Nice feed. Finds Terosian. Terosian looking to create. Will switch. Beautiful pass. Running onto it is Kovac. And she may not catch up with this. As Kovac, you say it so often, Mark, did not play with a miss, and that one step got her.
Well, Kovac was cutting in, and then that ball went over the defender's head and out toward the flank.
Again, the turf here at Eastern very fast. Last game we had here on Comcast, Ocean City and Gloucester Catholic, you had that high cut grass, really slowed the game down. This is the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
And keep in mind, both of these teams played last week here in the semifinals, so they're very used to playing on this.
I thought you were going to jump up with your feet there, Mark.
I was ready to trap that, but
so we'll have some subs for Moorestown. Coming on will be Steph Toy, just a freshman, and she will spell Katrina Martinelli, the junior. Toy will throw it in right in front of our position. Nice crowd on hand today for this final. There's Terosian. Terosian tried the dummy play, didn't work.
Absolutely. Ogle didn't go for it, 16.
Ogle, no dummy. Hampton feeds the wing, and this will go out.
I'll tell you what, Terosian's got a little edge to her game as well. I mean, as much of a pounding as she takes, she's not afraid to go in and make a hard tackle, clean but hard.
Well, you know, I think to be a truly great player, you have to be talented, you have to be smart, and you have to have a little bit of an edge. And Terosian has all three of those.
She definitely does. I could even see her in college being, say, an outside midfielder or even an outside back or something. Push up on the attack. And there are a lot of ways you could use her on the next level.
Moorestown has been impressive thus far in their defensive play as well. You saw Katie Rigby drawing 2 defenders almost immediately. So Moorestown not allowing Lenape much space to operate. Lenape, again, we mentioned 19-0 coming into today. The last time they lost was against the team that plays here. That's Eastern High School. They lost both games last year against Eastern. And, you know, perhaps it speaks to their degree of being uncomfortable on this surface.
Well, isn't it interesting that last year Lenape won a state title but not the Olympic American title, which tells you a little bit about the Olympic American.
It also tells you, again, another thing is, of course, Eastern didn't even qualify for the playoffs this year because of that tough schedule that they play in here. And again, it really doesn't matter the sport. It's just a murderous conference, and girls soccer is certainly indicative of that.
Well, girls soccer ranks right up there as far as being tough. I mean, you have to play Lenape, Eastern, Cherokee,
Washington Township
twice each. And Cherry Hill East, which is the 5th team, is a representative squad, but this season, you know, having trouble keeping up with the other 4.
Lenape, of course, part of the Lenape district, who is made up of both, well, I shouldn't say both, Lenape and Cherokee, Seneca and Shawnee. So all fine athletic schools in the district.
By the way, I saw Shawnee play Eastern a couple of weeks ago.
Moorestown, a good opportunity in the box and denied.
Pretty good clear that time by Lenape's Carly Cormody. Keeping things out of the way.
Car, are you okay? If you're not good, tell Meter.
Moorestown has continually put pressure on. There you see Wolf doing some outstanding footwork. Look at that.
A little bit of wizardry, and Lenape comes out of the back, but the feet a little bit too strong for Trojan. She pushes. Here's Cannon. Cannon towards the middle. Deflected. Shot. Great save by McCool. Rigby right on the doorstep, and McCool comes out and denies Lenape's best opportunity of the afternoon.
I don't know if Rigby realized she had even a little more time than she realized, but give McCool a lot of credit for being so decisive on that play. Wow, that was a close one.
Well, McCool has started in goal since she was a freshman, now a junior. And Coach Bill Mulvihill says she consistently makes the big save. We saw it right there. Moorestown pushing down the field. Rigby shielding, looking for space. Nice little cut, Rigby to the middle. And right from the back, nice read by Alex Davis.
Pretty good job there that time by Carly Carmody to kick that ball out, because Lenape actually headed it backwards, didn't mean to. Carmody was there to clean it up. Yeah, that was Alex Davis on the other end making a great read from the back. And again, I'd like to call her almost a stay-at-home sweeper. She's not going to take many unnecessary chances, but she reads the game well, and that time was an exact example of that.
Moorestown with the throw-in. Cannon, here's Wiley. Wiley sends it long and looking to chase his Rigby. Moorestown, if there is a wind, it's going against Moorestown. In the box and volleyed. Just too high for Katie Duffy.
Well, I'll tell you what, that play was set up by Tarosian. She won that head ball, went in after it, got it on the bounce, and headed it in there that time to Duffy. I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with not only Tarosian's skill, but her grit, how she just doesn't back off from any situation.
Cannon has been very impressive today. Feeding the far wing, and it's Davis who comes on.
See, that's an excellent clear. Davis cleared it to Sarkeesian, who was out on the flank. Now Lenape doing a good job of keeping it in. But I mean, if you're playing that sweeper position, that's what you want to do. You want to clear it to the outside. You get started that way. Pretty dangerous situation right here for Lenape on the foul.
So another opportunity for the Indians. They'd like to knot it up. 14:40 remaining. Towards the middle. Headed up. Good opportunity. Headed in the middle. And Moorestown comes away with it. Tremendous opportunity for the Indians as McCool was out of position.
Kathleen Wolf doing a nice job on that clear that time for the Quakers.
Feeding the wing, finding Sarkeesian. And this will result in a corner kick.
See, Rob, though, Lenape's had a couple of nice runs lately, and one of the reasons is the Indians have started using all the field. And as we said, instead of jamming things up the middle, here's a look at that last one on the header. Moorestown still can't clear. There you see, well, near the end of that play, Kathleen Wolf, and she was going to make the clear.
Well, again, it'll be Kerwin. She started things on the only goal of this game from that very spot. Kerwin takes. Headed up by Wiley. Cannon wisely towards the flank. Hampton muscling the Moorestown player and a great job of maintaining possession. And the Moorestown players yielding to allow it to go out. Fine individual effort by Hampton, throwing here for Moorestown. Ogle looked initially tentative in watching the ball, but she knew that it was going to sail out, and Moorestown seemingly had possession, but there was a foul called apparently, so Lenape will come away with it. That's Carly Carmody to take. Wiley heads it forward. Here's Rigby.
I'll tell you, Wiley's a great target on all those balls because she could win just about anything in the air for Lenape.
You know, oftentimes, Mark, we talk about skills from one sport translating to another. Wiley played basketball for years, and you can see the basketball acumen coming into play in terms of shielding, in terms of using her size. Erosion cuts it in.
Now, see, that's a situation where Alex Davis would probably want to have that back. She just cleared it out there. She had time to settle and then make the clear.
To the middle. And this could be trouble. But Carmody, very composed, feeds Terosian in the middle. Terosian unable to settle.
Carmody and Sarkeesian having a real battle that last time.
And from the back, it'll be Kaylee Menser. Menser, long ball to the middle, looking there, and Moorestown struggling to maintain possession. Terosian trying to battle Ogle. Menser. And again, each of these teams playing very physical. Rigby cuts it. Nice little feed by Rigby. Shot towards the middle. Deflection. Score! Great little feed. And Jillian with the tip past McCool. We're knotted at one. Hampton typically outside mid, just a tremendous finisher, always very composed, and there you saw why she is just one of the many dangerous elements to this Lenape squad.
Well, that's the way through, Rob. She was right there at the far post, was able to tip it in.
Cannon right up the middle. A lot of space. Cannon. Shot. Save. McCool. Well, Cannon had the left side ticketed, and McCool equal to the task. And you sense the momentum swinging towards Lenape now. Cannon will take the corner. in the middle, headed away. And that will result in a throw-in for Moorestown. Some fine playmaking by the Indians. Ties this one. About 10:15 remaining. First half, South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association. It's a tournament that has the coaches from South Jersey.
There's a look at that. Look at Rigby making the move there, trying to make the turn.
And now Lenape, top of the box, Tarosian trying to feed inside. And again, on the foot of Tarosian, looking to create, has it taken away. Moorestown. And Moorestown with possession. As I was saying, South Jersey Coaches Association seed the top teams in the region, regardless of group size. And this is always bragging rights for South Jersey.
Of course, Lenape's a defending champion. It's a really tough twosome of winning a coaches tournament and a state title in the same season.
Not to mention the division, as you had stated earlier. Not easy in this Olympic conference.
By the way, if anyone's keeping score, the last 3 state champions in New Jersey have all been from the Olympic American. Eastern, Lenape last year, Eastern in 06 and 05.
And remember, Washington Township started the season ranked atop many polls.
Well, again, they lost one of their top players, Dana Wirt, to injury, and the fact that Township has still been competitive and is still a contender, a lot of people thinking Group 4, as Tarosian draws the foul, is a credit to the Minute Maids.
And again, it just speaks to the competitive balance in this division. Wirt coming back, so this will be very dangerous.
I'll tell you what, they've got to get that wall back. That wall's nowhere near 10 yards away.
And they do move him. Wiley scored off of a set piece just the other day against Cherokee. So
right.
Very dangerous right here.
Right, she should go right for the goal. Forget about passing at this distance with the way she can strike a ball.
And this one sails on the junior.
There's Tarosian. Look at her on that back heel to herself, and then she's going to draw the foul.
That's a great indication of what you were speaking to earlier, Mark. The fact that she keeps the ball so tight to her body.
Well, we've talked about it before, Rob. It's, to me, the most underrated skill in soccer. You can trap a ball, especially that tight and that close to your body, because she has no room to work so many times with so many people on her. If you can trap that ball right away and give yourself that extra half a second to kind of take off, it means all the difference in the world.
Here comes Rigby and the Indians. Rigby feeds the wing. Lenape continuing to put on pressure. Throw in for Lenape.
I think a lot of this changed, Rob, when Lenape started using the whole field instead of just barreling up the middle.
Tarosian, great feed in the middle, and looking for a deflection. That's how they had scored earlier. It was Rigby right there. It just skipped by her. McCool hung out to dry.
Not only was Rigby there, but number 20, Katie Duffy, was right at the far post. There were actually 2 Lenape players there at that time. Moorestown fortunate in that sequence.
And there you see some of the skill of Tarosian. She draws a crowd, opening up opportunities for her teammates. Tremendous feed. And Moorestown will head it out. Throw in, it'll be Hampton. Tarosian double teamed. Yields to Hampton. Hampton towards the middle. And coming from the back, a nice read by Moorestown Steph Toy. Taken right back in the box. Shot Tarosian, denied by McCool. Tarosian We'd like to have that back. Not a lot on it, but a nice read by McCool, who's now stepped up her game to keep Moorestown in this.
Yeah, I think she's so used to having to get that shot off right away. Again, she had a little more time. She did one time. It did not get all of it.
Here, Wiley reading it from the back.
I'll tell you what, the pressure Wiley is
shot.
putting.
Score! No! The referee says that did not cross the end line. From this angle, it looked like it was in. Like to see that on the replay. It looked like it bounded off the back of McCool, just tucked underneath the crossbar. The shot from Duffy. Let's take a look.
There it is. It
hit the post. It looked like it hit the post. It looked like a good call from the referee. He had it lined up even with the goal line. Just a tremendous shot by Duffy, tucking it underneath the crossbar, off the back of McCool, deflected off the post, and McCool able to wrangle it in.
Rob, now we just saw that slowed down and still had trouble deciding. Imagine how difficult the official's job is.
Absolutely.
Doing it in a split second, and there's no slow motion in these decisions.
Well, Lenape has put it into overdrive here. And
Rob, I think we had a card here. I have to.
Terosian heads. Sarkeesian trying to create space. Sarkeesian whistle.
Yep. Carly Carmody was, was banging her with the elbow, with the arm, had the arm inside there. That was a good call.
Bill Mulvihill directing his troops.
See, they're going to try to do something. I think they're a little too far out to try to do something. Yeah, see? They tried to get a little closer to Sarkeesian instead of going all the way in.
And now Lenape with a lot of space. Feed, Terosian showing that speed, trailing it's Duffy. To the middle, it's Duffy! Score! Great feed from Terosian to Duffy. Lenape on top, 2-1.
Hey, Rob, Kaylee Menser, you cannot downplay her contribution to that goal, number 15 for Lenape. She's the one that got everything started, sent it to Terosian, and then Terosian from the flank brought it in there.
Well, a lot of coaches always want to see how their team reacts when they get down. And frankly, Kevin Meter has to like what he sees.
You know, it might sound weird, but they were down so early. It was in the first 3 minutes that they obviously had so much time to adjust to that. I'll tell you what, Menser brought that ball up, Terosian to the right flank. That's the way you draw it up. That was terrific.
And you can see from our vantage point the whole play develop. Moorestown collapsing on Terosian and Duffy all by herself. It takes a great player to have the vision and the skill to find her. A perfect pass to Duffy, and Duffy just had to send it home to beat McCool.
8th goal of the season, by the way, for Duffy.
Here's Carmody in the back, and she's going to cut it in.
Wow, that's dangerous, very dangerous to cut it in and try to kick the ball out through the middle. Lenape got away with it that time.
Some nice skill by Curry. Here's Cannon up the middle. Cannon finds Rigby.
I'll tell you what, too, Rob. Lenape's attack has improved significantly with Wiley coming up on the attack and helping out.
Terosian denied, and now Moorestown will look to transition. We have 3 minutes remaining in this one, this first half. Far flank, Sarkeesian. She has been nullified here early. Throw in Moorestown.
Well, just like Terosian, there are a lot of white shirts around Sarkeesian. I mean, Lenape knows that she's the one that kind of fuels this offense. Wow. I think she's getting a little frustrated that time, too. Commits the foul, and it'll be Lenape on the direct going the other way.
Had an opportunity to speak to a couple of the parents prior to the game, and from Lenape, they were a little concerned whether or not the girls would have the intensity for this one. And I made the assumption that they certainly would, given the magnitude of this game. And we see this has been an intensely played first half.
Yeah, I was going to say, wow, that was not a legal throw. So it goes the other way. Yeah, I don't think intensity has been a problem for either team here today.
Lenape on top 2-1. It all started with just 2:01 in. Haley Dalmas of Moorestown notching the first goal. Since then, Lenape has had the better of play. Tough tackle. Here's Duffy. Duffy finds Tarosian. Tarosian now will look, wait, and create. Tarosian to the middle, finds Cannon. Cannon with space. Cannon trying to create room. Has it taken away? No, a foul call.
There's no question about that. Kathleen Wolf upended Cannon. Again, this is a situation where you're about maybe 24 yards away. I think if you're Wiley, you go for the goal right here.
This is a huge play, Mark, because we are inside of 50 seconds remaining in this first half. The difference between a 2-1 and a 3-1 lead would be enormous, not to mention the momentum going to the locker room.
That wall has to move back, and they're doing it. When you're a shooter, you know what 10 yards is, and Moorestown has consistently lined up about 6 or 7 yards and then had to move back.
Frankly, that looks like a generous 10 yards right now. Tarosian right in front of the box, and Wiley will take. Wiley, shot, and again, too strong.
Good idea, though.
Moorestown will likely just hold on to this and allow time to elapse as we tick down. We are at the 10-second mark. And again, that will do it for the first half. Well, it has been a hotly contested first half and a well-played first half. Lenape heads to the locker room on top, 2-1. Welcome back to Eastern High School, the site of the 2008 South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Girls Championship Finals. Rob Christ along with Marc Narducci. Second half now underway. Lenape leading 2-1. Hampton and Duffy, your goal scorers for Lenape. And it was Dalmas to start the scoring very early in that first half for Moorestown.
You know, one thing, Rob, on that equalizing goal by Hampton, the cross by Kovac, you can't emphasize how important, obviously, that was in that goal as well. And that really settled Lenape down. And since then, Lenape has really been controlling the action.
Tarosian cuts it in, but it breaches the end line. Now, again, we mentioned before that very little wind here today. Now, in the first half, it looked like the wind up top was favoring Lenape, but it may have switched. Here's Cannon. Cannon has played a fine first half.
Yes, she has. Absolutely.
Moorestown from the back. And here's Sarkeesian. Sarkeesian. Throw-in will be Lenape. Will be Moorestown. Sarkeesian looking for some space. Feeds. Top of the box. Another pass. Inside the box. Shot on. Great save. Zeman.
It's a nice job. Wolf making a nice pass to Martinelli and putting the shot on there. And Moorestown has not put a whole lot of pressure on Lenape, especially after that early goal.
Now again, Lenape putting on pressure.
You know, we talk about Corrosion, how much grit she has. Katie Duffy goes after it as well as anybody as well. Number 20 for Lenape. Really, really aggressive.
Shot on, saved by McCool. Lenape still. Rigby, Corrosion, deflection, hits the post. Lenape continuing to bang on the door. And now Cannon from the corner. Let's take a look, Mark. Here's Hampton.
Yeah, Lenape really starting to put on the pressure here, and Lenape is beating Moorestown to the ball, which you do not see a lot. And here comes Corrosion, off one of the players and still off the post.
Now Cannon in the box, shot on, far side, headed up. Moorestown looking to clear, Duffy right on the doorstep. And a big break there. Hildebrand heading it forward. Lenape again with another excellent scoring opportunity. Corrosion shielding. Corrosion cuts it to the middle. Nice feed inside, looking for Hampton. Again, Corrosion. Moorestown really back on their heels right now. Top of the box. And Cannon. Good idea.
Boy, another shot to that far post that time. Moorestown back on its heels. Got to watch you don't have a handball in that situation too, Rob.
Cool, a little bit tentative during that series.
You're right. The junior Chelsea Cannon, number 14, has really stood out here through the whole game, but especially early here in the second half.
Moorestown will throw it in. Jenna Hildebrand. Here's Sarkeesian.
See, they're doubling her. She's not. See, again, Menser came from her sweeper position to help out. Sarkeesian's getting absolutely no space at all. Her teammates have to recognize that, give her more of a target. There you saw, Rob, that was almost 1-on-3 that time. And Menser has made a lot of really solid plays in that back line for Lenape.
Rigby. And this will be out on Moorestown. Throw in. Carly Mason.
Last year in this game, the tag was
Be a throw in for Moorestown. Sarkeesian.
face to face with it.
After saying she was tripped that time, so Moorestown will get it direct. Now again, Moorestown always looks to go long, Rob. Again, I would try to go shorter, see? Now again, the Lenape defense, everyone's gotten a chance to set back. Quakers always looking long. Maybe have somebody run through and hit them.
It's going to be Ogle. Ogle, top of the box. Moorestown. Unable to connect. Cleared out by the Indians. Corrosion denying. And now going. Far flank Corrosion. Cuts. Looks. Feeds. Far wing. Unable to hook up.
Corrosion goes back further than you'll see most forwards to get the ball, because what she does is she gets it, gets rid of it quickly, and then moves up into the attacking area. It's a very different style. You don't always see that from a lot of forwards.
Top of the box coming on and taking it is McCool. One thing you have to like, Mark, is that Lenape has had its share of opportunities, and Moorestown still very much in this one.
It's almost like you have to ward off this momentum that Lenape has, although Lenape's kind of been dominating play for a while now. It's not just here in the beginning of the second half. I mean, it was certainly toward the second part of the first half.
Menser from the back.
I like Menser. She's been very heady here today.
Carmody, just a little too strong.
You talk about that senior leadership. She's another one of these key seniors for this Lenape team.
Zeman, Tarosian, and Duffy. Probably your three headliners in terms of seniors for this Lenape team. And again, this is a team that will be reckoned with next year as well.
Yeah, Mason and Menser, two other of the. But you're right, this team will be reckoned with. That's great skill by Sarkeesian that time.
Nice feed, trying to find the on-rushing Bridget Bianco.
There's a late offsides call that time. Right call, just a little late.
Hey, the AR's guys, would you be quiet 22?
They said that some videos ago, we were down to Philly back home, and these are my parents, and neighbors, and people around me realized we were on the stairs. They're all coming.
Headed forward, Tarosian. She yields to the middle. And you see the tenacity of Tarosian and Cannon with the collision.
Cannon has not stopped moving. I mean, she's been a real force here.
To the middle of the box, settled. And Moorestown clears.
Bianco could
Bianco.
be one-on-one here.
Bianco works it far side. Lenape able to come back on defense.
Wow, that's a great defensive play that time. Again, by Menser. She stopped the ball, then created the foul that time. That was almost like a one-on-one situation. Here you see it. Should do the step over that time and trip. There you saw the trip.
Tarosian cuts it inside. And again, an opportunity for Duffy. Tarosian just creates so many opportunities for her teammates. Tremendous vision. We mentioned before her great ball skills.
She's got great instincts too, and it's interesting. She plays with her back to the goal, even at midfield, just to shield to get the ball. But you're right, she's got great vision. There's a push that time. And I'll tell you, I think Sarkeesian's getting a little frustrated here, Rob.
There's no question about that. Sarkeesian just really no space to operate this afternoon. It'll be Carmody Sunday night. No one converging except Kathleen Wolf to the back curve. And this will be a throw-in for the Moorestown Quakers. Mark, you know, we have an opportunity to see girls soccer throughout the year. A decided different tier of play here today.
There's no question. Well, again, early on, as I said, Moorestown had taken Lenape out of its game, Rob. It didn't play that nice possession game that we're used to seeing from the Indians, but from about the midway point of the first half, Lenape's starting to really play its game, and it's a nice game to watch as a viewer.
Kathleen Wolf. And we'll have a throw-in for Moorestown.
You know, it's an old cliche that if a player makes others better, but that's what Tarosian does. That's probably her best trait. She makes her teammates better with what she does on the field.
Nice little move, Rigby, just the freshman. Now Tarosian, shot, Tarosian, McCool right there. McCool equal to the task.
Bill Mulvihill looking on there. You see that career record already in the South Jersey Soccer Hall of Fame.
Rigby, Shields, Duffy towards McCool, not a lot on that.
This is Lenape, one touch, moving the ball well on the ground. This is the style that we've been accustomed to see from this team.
Yeah, you like that?
Moorestown sent out, throw in. The Quakers with a quick restart. Sarkeesian on the ground, comes right back up.
Tell you what, she has shown a lot of toughness here today as well. Sarkeesian
to the wing. Shielding, it's Pfister. Fine defense by Hampton. Hampton will throw it in. Fed towards the middle. Tarosian shields and goes. Ogle unable to contain Tarosian towards the middle. Duffy on the ball. Shot and a score! Tarosian continues her wizardry, finding Duffy in the clear. And Lenape adds to their lead.
Wow. If you see the replay, watch how low to the ground Tarosian is. Now this was the pass afterwards, and Duffy just one times it from about 8 yards out.
Well, Moorestown will have to answer. They have been on their heels since about midway through that first half. Mason. You can see the clock, 26:40 remaining in this second half, with Lenape holding the lead over the Quakers. Corner kick for Cannon and the Indians.
Girls, get it out! Mark up!
Tremendous crowd on hand to watch this one.
Away!
Towards the middle, headed, and again you see the dangerous Carolyn Wiley.
Again, I thought that Lenape's fortune started changing in the first half when Wiley started making more runs, Rob, and becoming a more prominent force in the offense. The two things, when Wiley did that and when Lenape started spreading the field and using the flanks, especially that right flank, where the Indians have enjoyed a lot of success attacking from.
Wiley heads it forward, and shielding is Martinelli. Wiley again. Here's Rigby, and Rigby unable to settle.
You know, Rigby does a nice job playing up top off of Tarosian. She doesn't try to break down defenders all the time. She gets the ball, gets rid of it.
What a feat by Cannon. Tremendous back heel by Cannon. It's right back on her foot. Cannon shot, and McCool equal to the task. That all started with a deft little touch of the foot by Cannon. She found it right back to her, and a good opportunity. Wiley again. Rigby. She'll yield to her teammate. Tarosian.
See how she creates her own space, Rob?
Towards the middle, deflection, score! Harley Mason. And again, as a defense, so difficult to stop. You have Tarosian bottled up, and just as you mentioned, Mark, she creates her own space.
Yep.
And a tremendous opportunity cashed in.
And this time she does it off the left flank where they haven't attacked a whole lot. Beautiful feed that time, right in there. And again, Lenape's so smart. I think all the goals have been one-timers.
Look, I did not see who the Indians player was, but it looked like someone just had a little flick of the header there too to kind of throw off the defense just a hair. We mentioned this is a very talented Lenape team, and they are on full display here this afternoon. Tarosian. And you can see she has really picked up her game. Cannon off of the feed from Tarosian towards the middle, looking for Rigby.
Get up!
You know, Rob, I mean, there's a lot of soccer to still be played, but when people are going to talk about the player of the year in South Jersey, and they might say, well, Terosian has just 9 goals, they ought to get a tape of this game and look at it and you know, see all that she does, all she does off the ball, all she does creating. And, I mean, she hasn't put one in the back of the net today, but she's got 3 assists, and she's just been a dominant force.
So Cannon. Top of the box, Rigby. Feeds, Cannon, shot, and too much on it. You know, Mark, just watching a play like that, just the composure of this Lenape team, and although it all starts with Terosian, I mean, many of these players just have that element of confidence that separates the good from the great.
Well, they've obviously had a lot of success winning a state title last year, and obviously Terosian's had a lot of success outside of high school. We're playing on that Mount Laurel Fire team that won the state title this past season, the U17 team. So, I mean, she's obviously been in a lot of big spots, and so are a lot of these players, and it shows in a game like this.
That was your.
By the way, Rob, Moorestown, the one consolation Moorestown will have is the Quakers will not play anybody close to Lenape in the Group 3 tournament. I don't think there's any question about that.
Although their draw is not necessarily the most favorable. They're going to probably face Winslow, although Winslow will have to get past Pemberton. Winslow, pretty tough team. Ask Cherokee. And then after that, should they win, a good chance of facing a pretty darn good Seneca team.
Well, here's the thing. You could be right in that. Seneca's got to get by Shawnee first round, and I'm not ready to say that's absolute. I saw Shawnee. I was starting to talk about it earlier in the telecast, and the Renegades have gotten better in the second half, and I think they're going to give anybody, including Seneca, all they can handle in the state tournament. Should be outstanding soccer.
Moorestown feeding the middle, and now Lenape denying that opportunity.
Of course, Group 2 has a lot of interesting teams. West Deptford has come on really strong toward the end of the season. Of course, had the 2 wins this year over Haddonfield after Haddonfield had gone like 5 years without losing in the Colonial.
Of course, Mark, you had your picks in today's edition of the Sunday Inquirer. And I know that you like this Lenape team. Talk about...
yeah, that wasn't exactly going out on a limb, by the way.
Coming on! Hey, don't give her inside!
Let's talk a little bit about that. You mentioned in Group 1, a Gateway team that's had some degree of success.
I'll tell you what, I think Group 1, Gateway is as much of a favorite in Group 1 as Lenape is in Group 4. That's how strong I think Gateway has a chance to win that sectional title.
And you started to touch upon Group 2.
Well, at Group 2, Cinnaminstons a 4 seed, but Cinnaminstons, obviously beaten this Moorestown team once, lost a couple times to them, but I think Cinnaminstons' schedule that the Pirates have played, they tied Eastern. I think that's going to prepare them very well for the Group 2 tournament.
And you like this Moorestown team in Group 3?
I do, yeah, I do. I mean, this is a tough second half they've had against Lenape here, but I think this will help them. I think it's tough though, Rob, not playing with Sam Davis, because she's one of the best players in all of South Jersey, and you don't want to make excuses. They know they're not playing with her, but wow, she is just such a weapon, either offensively or defensively. So for Moorestown to even do this well with her out of the lineup is really a credit to Phil Mulvihill and this Moorestown team.
Again from the back, denied by Moorestown. Can anybody stop Gloucester Catholic in the parochials?
Possibly, yeah. I think one of the real dark horses in non-public A is Paula 6, which is an 8 seed, and been playing very, very well recently. Gloucester Catholic takes on a Holy Spirit team that I think is an enigma. Was a preseason top 10 team, and then really had just had a series of bad games. So you don't know what Holy Spirit team, but they have some really quality players. Stephanie Carpenter, who's headed to the University of West Virginia. So, I mean, I think Gloucester Catholic's going to win, but I think the Rams are going to have to earn it.
Moorestown trying to put together any type of concerted pressure. And Lenape has been more than equal to the task. And how about the other parochials?
Well, Bishop Eustace, Holy Cross, always tough. I mean, Bishop Eustace, again, I go with a team that plays a tough schedule. I saw Eustace earlier this year against this Lenape team. Lenape beat them 2-0, but I think Eustace is very talented.
Moorestown.
And Eustace has a goalie in Sarah Keene, who's arguably the best goalie in South Jersey. And when you have a keeper in the state tournament, that's always obviously to your advantage.
That's one of the great things about this coaches tournament. And looking around the crowd, you see many young ladies with their respective sweatshirts on from the various programs in South Jersey. So it really brings together the soccer community, both from the outset and then culminating in the championship.
Well, the Coaches Association, they do a great job, not only running this tournament, but what they do with scholarships and everything. They do a great job, and they take it very seriously, Rob. In order to get here, you had to be ranked. They took the highest 16 ranked teams out of the coaches poll top 20, and I know a little bit about the poll because I was a voter this year, and it's a lot of work, but it's worth it because you want to give all the teams their due. And I just think this is one of the great tournaments of any sport around in South Jersey. I mean, you're a baseball coach, and they have the Diamond Classic where the top teams play as well, but not every sport does this.
Well, one of the things that I like about the coaches tournament versus the Diamond Classic is you have the top 16 teams. In the Diamond Classic, you don't have the top 16 teams.
Now, you're right. They take conference leaders and this and that. Look at that heel play.
And as you know, in baseball, you have an opportunity to, your team is different every time you run a pitcher out there. So,
right.
And to have the top 16 teams, you can always have a sleeper come up and shock a few people. Of course, that won't be the case this year, as Moorestown and Lenape coming into this year were certainly amongst everyone's top teams, and right now it looks like Lenape, who was the top seed, is in control of this one.
Although remember, Rob, Moorestown came into this tournament seeded number 6, so the Quakers were on a roll, but not quite the roll they were on when the final seedings and the rankings took place. By the way, you notice a strategic change by Moorestown. Alex Davis, who was playing sweeper, has moved up now to help out with the attack. Multi-skilled player. She and her sister Sam headed to Towson University.
It's 6-9.
Well, Moorestown, with just 16 minutes remaining in this one, will need to score here quickly if they have any aspirations of tying this one up. Ogle, too strong.
What's interesting about this Lenape team, and we talked about Terosian and how talented is she, but the players around her, like Chelsea Cannon, who's been terrific, Hampton, Duffy. I mean, a lot of these players would be the best player on their high school team, if someone like Terosian wasn't there. I mean, and they play well together. This is a very unselfish team. You put all that together, and there's no surprise you have the number 1 team in South Jersey.
Hampton, Terosian, shot, score, Terosian. Well, perhaps some justice there. Hampton finds Terosian. She's worked so hard throughout the afternoon, and she puts the exclamation point on this one. Well, Hampton started the rush, and again, finding that very dangerous weapon right there, Natalia Terosian. And that's assistant coach Mike Foley kind of bowing to Terosian.
In the pregame, I said Moorestown's not this big underdog that Bill Mulvihill likes to suggest. You look at the score, and it suggests otherwise. I still think the Lenape just got on its game. I think this is a talented Moorestown team, and we're gonna hear a lot from the Quakers in the postseason.
You know, you were mentioning before just the various talented members of this Lenape team, and you know, they have a great feeder program in Mount Laurel. They start around age 5, and it's really paid dividends. In fact, the president currently is the father of Jillian Hampton, Jim Hampton, and it's a program that they kind of modeled after the Europeans, and that they wanted to create great talent from an early age, and they've certainly been able to do that, as evidenced today.
Yeah, I would have to say that they've succeeded in their goal.
You know, oftentimes I think that's an important point, Mark. You know, I know as a coach of high school athletics, the unsung heroes are the feeder programs. You know, oftentimes when you see a successful team at the high school level, in large part that is due to what goes on when the kids are 11, 12, 13 years old.
There's no question, and the interesting thing is, Rob, and it's a very delicate balance, is you want to train these people, you want them to be the best they can, but you also don't want to burn them out. And you want them to enjoy the sport by the time they get to high school. It's a delicate balance, and the ones that run the successful feeder programs obviously know how to do it.
In fact, a great indication of that, Mark, in the South Jersey Championship a couple of years ago, we played the Toms River squad that ended up winning the Little League World Series when they were 12. Very few of those players continued baseball after winning the World Series.
Is that right?
The Little League World Series, because of the just immense pressure that was put on. And again, I think that's a great indication of exactly what you spoke of. There's a fine line between putting high expectations on someone and burning them out. You make a great point.
Tell you what, I'm really looking forward to the state tournament coming up. Boys starting on Monday, girls Tuesday, and although there are a few girls games I think on Monday, but I just think there are a lot of evenly matched teams, and it's going to be very interesting.
It always is. And, you know, the wild card every year in any sport is those teams down the shore, because we don't really have an opportunity to see them.
Well,
but I would suggest in girls soccer that, you know, the level of play here takes a backseat to no one.
Well, there's no question about that. I'm hoping to see one of those teams on Tuesday, Cherry Hill West against Egg Harbor Township. West a 13 seed, but I think the Lions a dangerous 13 seed. So, I mean, again, I think you're going to see a lot of the lower seeded teams. I don't even know if you want to call them upsets, but certainly pulling wins.
You know, you mentioned before about the goal totals being legitimate for this Lenape team. Many coaches would have left Natalia Tarosian in and just tried to boost her stats. She came out right after she scored that goal. The game is certainly well in hand for Lenape, and there's no need for that. Everybody recognizes the greatness of Tarosian. Moorestown trying to create Wiley with a nice shield. Wiley still with possession, and she'll wisely send it out. That's just a smart play by the junior.
You know, Rob, I'm looking in my book here, and I only see, and I could be wrong because I'm doing this quickly, but I only see one time where Tarosian has scored more than one goal in a game. And that goes back to what we said. When these games are in hand, Kevin Meter gets her out of there.
You know, obviously, there's more than just the fact that they don't want her to pad her stats. I mean, she is a girl, as you mentioned, who is well-traveled, who has played quite a bit of soccer. And, you know, it's a long season. For all intents and purposes, her season is year-round.
But, I mean, you look at it, coming into today, the leading scorer on this team was Rigby with 12 goals. You look at a team that's 19-0, and ranked number 1 in South Jersey coming in, and you would think the leading scorer would have more goals than that. And I think that's that's a real telling sign about this team. They don't care about padding stats. They don't care who scores the goals. The only thing they count at the end of the day are the wins, and there are a lot of them to count.
Again, that's a testament to the skill level of these girls in addition to the coaching staff of this Lenape team. It's a team that Kevin Meter said has extraordinary team chemistry, outstanding work ethic. We can see how skilled they are. That is just a true recipe for success.
Well, I really did think that Moorestown took Lenape out of its game for about the first part of the first half. I did not see that flow that we're used to seeing from Lenape. But once Lenape got it, wow. And by the way, Bill Mulvihill of Moorestown and Kevin Meter of Lenape go back quite a long way. Bill was an assistant coach at Rowan University when Kevin played there. So those two have quite a long time connection in soccer.
Rowan always playing a huge role in South Jersey soccer.
I tell you, the Rowan women have to play the College of New Jersey in a New Jersey Athletic Conference tournament game Wednesday. That is going to be a spirited game, to say the least.
Lenape able to bring on some reserves and still mounting some pressure. We have 8:28 left in this one. Sent to the middle, shot on, and again sailing over off of the deflection. Lenape just so quick in their transition.
Yeah, that was Edvia Campbell, number 18, who sent that ball in.
And a new keeper for Moorestown. I believe that's Leah DeRosa.
Yeah, 24. Away!
Too strong on the corner. Chasing it down will be Val DeLisi. DeLisi sends it off of an Indian, and a throw in here for the Quakers. Moorestown on the attack.
Tell you what, this is good experience for both teams to be able to play in a coaches tournament final and get a lot of these youngsters who will be a big part of the programs in the future to get some kind of action here today.
Now the Quakers with a rush, sent towards the middle and take it. Good opportunity. Moorestown has had very, very few opportunities in the second half.
Rob, you could take it one step further. Moorestown, after that goal by Dalmas, hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities.
I think both of these teams are going to be the better for it in the playoffs. Of course, Moorestown will certainly recognize what areas they need to improve upon. I don't think that they're going to see anyone nearly as talented as Lenape. And conversely, Lenape, a beneficiary of a wake-up call, as Moorestown scored first in this one. In the box, deflected.
I don't think Lenape wants to practice that too often.
But as I mentioned before, Kevin Meter, you know, that's important to see how your team responds. And obviously, you need a response from your leader. Natalia Tarosian was just on top of her game today. And as you mentioned, shot, again deflected wide.
Just explosive. I mean, that's all you could say. Early on, she had very little room to move, and she just kept at it. Remember, we were saying how they were putting Ogle on her and having someone weak side following her, and she just keeps moving and running and making space for herself. And again, I just love the way she dribbles the ball and keeps that ball so close to her body. It's very hard to take it away from her.
Down to 5:15 remaining in this second half. Lenape in control. New keeper coming on for Lenape. I believe that is Alex Allison Johnson, the freshman. She will likely take over for Zeman, not only in this game, but in the years to come. Fine crowd on hand for this one. It's been a nice fall afternoon.
Get together now. Go
cool.
Right there. No, that's it.
And
right
clear.
there.
Headed forward. Score. Well, off of the set piece. Lenape adds to their lead. Let's take a look. This is coming off of the foot of Myers to start.
Looks like Sarbolski, number 8, was the one that got it in there. Beautiful header right to the near post.
3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. This was a game that was very close in the first half, but Lenape has put it into overdrive, and it's become very one-sided.
And if they win,
you know, the biggest margin of victory Lenape's had this year has been 6 goals twice, 6-0 against Camden Catholic and Pensacola.
Top of the box, another shot, and DeRosa equal to the task of Lizzie Duffy. And from the back, it's Becca Myers. Moorestown would like to hit the twine at least once more, but Lenape continues to be fine in their own end and quickly transition to the middle. And again, Francesca Roller feeding Emmy Duffy. Crossing.
Keep her out, Aaron. No turn.
You know, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if anybody in Group 4 is going to be up to the task to be competitive with Lenape. Remember, last time Washington Township played Lenape, it was a 1-0 game. Lenape won. So, I mean, again, you know, nothing's automatic. I mean, we saw that last night with the, you had mentioned at the top of the show, with the Rancocas Valley boys losing to Moorestown in the coaches tournament final. I mean, there was an RV team that beat the number 2 team in the country, St. Benedict's. So, you know, on any given day, things can happen. And I know for the Lenape coaching staff, you don't want your team to get complacent or anything like that. But I'll tell you, if that's your biggest problem you have to worry about, that's a pretty pleasant problem to have.
To the middle, headed forward, and sent out. We'll have a corner. DeRosa opting to stay back in her net. Corner kick for Lenape as we have 1 minute remaining. Headed out, and the Indians still with possession. To midfield. And back there is Becca Myers. She feeds McDevitt.
they invested. Whenever I had a situation
this will result in a throw-in for the Quakers. Moorestown now, top of the box. 15 seconds left, shot on. That goes wide, and that'll be Moorestown's last opportunity as one of their few opportunities here in the second half. Lenape will boot it away, and that'll do it here from Eastern High School. Lenape victorious, your 2008 South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association champions. Stick around and we'll have post-game interviews and a wrap. Lenape defeating Moorestown 6-1. Welcome back to Eastern High School, site of the 2008 South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Girls Championship Final. Lenape victorious over Moorestown 6-1 here with winning head coach Kevin Meter. And coach, you start out the game kind of back on your heels, a surprise goal by Moorestown, and it seems like your girls responded immediately, a position that you're rarely in, but you had to like what you saw from your girls.
Yeah, one of the things we first look for is one of our captains to go get the ball out of the net and bring it to midfield and say, let's get going, try to get it back. And Natalia did exactly that, and so we knew if we played our game that we'd be in good shape.
Were there any adjustments that you made at halftime? Because it seemed that although you had a relatively tight game in the first half, you guys really blew it open in the second half.
Yeah, we wanted to get our midfield more involved. We knew they were doubling on Tally and Katie up top, so we wanted to get our midfield more involved, play it back to them, look to the opposite side of the field. We felt we could break them down that way and try to get some opportunities.
No coach wants to see his team go down, but in some ways it's kind of a mixed blessing because, of course, you're going to be battle-tested come playoff time, and again, we talked about the way that you responded. How does this tournament really set you up for the playoffs?
Well, it does, and we knew that we could come in with heart, with effort, and play with urgency. So we're in good shape for the tournament. It's a whole different ball game now. Everybody starts 0-0, so we got to get refocused. We'll enjoy tonight. We'll get refocused and try to go after that state championship.
When you look at this game and this team, obviously just so many weapons, how does an opposing team try to shut down this potent offense? Well,
that's the thing. We try to stress to the girls that we're not a one-dimensional team. We try to get everybody involved, and everybody knows the role in the team. So that's the idea behind it, is try to get everybody involved and everybody to contribute.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in the playoffs. You talk about this not being a one-dimensional team. It certainly is not, but there's certainly one dimension to this team that is clearly unstoppable, and that's Natalia Tarosian. Marc?
All right, Rob, thank you very much. Natalia, you probably went in there confident you could win. You've done that every time this year, but 6-1, you surprised by that kind of an outcome? This is a very good Moorestown team.
Yes, they're very good, but our team stayed composed, and we came out there and we did everything we could do to get this win. And all the girls have been working hard in practices and everything every day, 24/7. And our team chemistry is amazing, and so I'm not surprised that we dominated this team.
I think one of the big things was you guys seem to be going a lot up the middle, and it looks like when you spread it out, that's when things started opening up for you today.
Yeah, I mean, our midfielders were winning everything, and our outside mids are so dangerous on the outside. Our defense stayed composed and packed and won everything, and everyone worked hard from the defense all the way to the offense. So.
Now, you've won this 2 years in a row. You won a state tournament, state title last year. How about your thoughts now going into the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs?
We're not done at all. We're happy we won here, but we're ready to move on and go to states and get it done and be 25-0.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations. What a show that she put on, Rob. You and I have been doing soccer for quite some time, and don't know if we've seen a better individual effort and someone that. A great individual effort, but got her team all involved today and really made her teammates better. This was a vintage performance by her.
Yeah, I think that really encapsulates exactly the performance from Tarosian. You're right. I don't think that I have ever seen an individual effort better than what we saw today. And you know what? You saw that when the game was on the line, her effort and her grit increased. When the playoffs continue, you may even see another level of Tarosian.
It's funny. She's one of the few players in South Jersey that never would have to score a goal, and she scored the one late to be a dominant force, and she was. And she made a good point off camera too. It isn't just her. There are a lot of other people on this team. This is a very, very strong team. And what I like most about them is they're really unselfish. And as you saw, they get down one early, no panic at all.
Well, and Speaking about that, Coach Meter mentioned previously that this is a team with great team chemistry and great work ethic. And obviously, that bodes well for them in the postseason. It's not an accident that they're 20-0.
No, nor that they won a state title last year, 2-time coaches tournament champion. But like Natalia said, they're not finished yet. They keep having this hungry attitude. And also, congratulations to Moorestown. It's been a great season. There's still a lot to achieve for the Quakers. They just came up against the best team in South Jersey that was on its game.
No question. Moorestown will certainly be a force in Group 3, but I tell you what, this Lenape team is a juggernaut, and they're going to be tough to stop. Again, the final score here from Eastern High School. Lenape, your 2008 South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association champions, 6-1 victory over Moorestown. For my partner, Marc Narducci, my director, Stan Ritter, and all the crew, I'm Rob Chris. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.